Today, we're going to learn the pronouns, the object pronouns. Now, the good thing is there's only 10 of them, so it should be pretty easy, and it's actually lessons 6 and 7, because object pronouns can be used as the object of a prepositional phrase, or just as a noun, usually of ownership, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So first, the 10 pronouns at the end of prepositional phrases, and then as they work together with nouns. So the first one is really easy. It's just O, just a whole involve, O, and it means him. So I have some memory devices that will help you with that. So if you put it with a prepositional phrase, like, for example, the prepositional phrase b, which means in or with. So in him, with him. Bo is how you pronounce that, bo. Whole involve is the him. So if you want to say that's with him, if you want to say with her, you use, there's the preposition, in or with, you just add ba. Now, there is a dot in the H, and I'll talk about why in one moment. But ba is in or with her, in or with him. So bo, in or with him, ba, in or with her. So the way you can remember that is oh, him, her. So try to think of little silly ways to remember them so it's not so hard. You will need to memorize these, but I have some helpful tips for that. Now, that's with prepositions. With a noun we use all the time is sus, which means horse. So if we do sus and o, remember anytime there's two nouns beside each other, the first one is owned by the second one. So now what they do is when it's one letter, they slap it right on the end of the word. So suso, you got a samek, and shurik, this vowel, another samek, and a holem vav. This is a vav with a holem over it. It works together to make one vowel, holem vav. So suso, horse of him, or more conveniently, his horse. Susa, can anyone guess what Susa is? Her horse. Oh, I don't want to forget that. Susa is her horse. Well, technically it would be horse of her because of the way they do their constructions, but her horse. Now, here is why this dot is important. This dot is saying I'm a separate word. Without the dot, this is a feminine ending, meaning female horse or mare. So if you were to write Susa versus Susa with the dot in the H, it's not pronounced any different. Sorry, the comments is looking pretty messy there. But if you were to write Susa versus Susa, pronounced the same, this means mare. This is a feminine ending. It's part of this word. This means her horse or her stallion. This dot says, I'm not an ending, I'm a separate word. So that's going to be important to notice that distinction. So now we're seeing the third masculine singular and third feminine singular pronouns with prepositional phrases and with nouns. You see how they work together. It's very nice that they both work the same. And in English, we would have to make it a separate word to show ownership. We'd have to say his horse versus in him, his horse. So different word there. But Hebrew, very convenient, they're the same. Just in case you're wondering what I mean by third masculine singular, well, obviously it's singular. It's his, in him, one person, and it's masculine, so him, not her. But third person, some people are confused about that. Probably most of you know, but just in case you don't, when you're using pronouns, first person is the person talking. I, me, my, us, we. Those are first person pronouns about the speaker. You can use those alone. There's only one person talking, and I'm saying, I am Jacob. Second person is the person you're talking to. That means there's two people involved. The speaker and the person spoken to. So you, your, yours, y'all's, whatever. Third person is I am talking to you about a third party. So now there's three people involved. The speaker, the listener, and the person talking about. So third person, he, him, they, them, she, hers, all those. You're talking about someone or some ones, some group. So that's what the first, second, and third pronouns are. This is the base form in Hebrew, is the third masculine singular, then third feminine singular. Now we come to some second person pronouns. So let's get rid of this. We've got in him, in her. Now, in you. So, or with you. I'm just using this as a general preposition. You could use a different one, but it's convenient for that. So, we've got the normal form, which is ka. That's a final cough there. They hang down. I'm kind of exaggerating how far down it hangs, but and the comments kind of goes right in there. So ka. So this is with you. It's actually got a little this thing here. So it's actually two syllables. Baka. This is with you, and it's second masculine singular. Now in English we don't have masculine and feminine you. I could say you to a man or you to a woman, and it would be the same word. But they have second masculine singular. If you're talking to a man, you'd say, can I go with you? Baka. If you're talking to a woman, you would say the pronoun would be empty. In other words, just ending this syllable. So it would actually be bak. So baka, if I'm talking to a man, bak, if I'm talking to a woman. So that'd be second feminine singular. So, but obviously it's the same letter. So you're talking, it's who you're talking to. Bak and baka. Okay? And then the first person, me or I or my. It's really nice. They don't have a me and a my. It's just one. And conveniently for us also, it's that same vowel sound E. That's a hirak yod. So this is in or with me. Okay? So now we've done all the singulars. This is first common singular. By the way, common is a grammatical gender form. It just means it could refer to either. It could refer, a man can say me and a woman can say me. It can refer to either. It's not neuter. That's it. English only has one neuter pronoun. That's it. Hebrew doesn't have a neuter. It has a common, though. All languages have common pronouns. Okay, so first common singular. That's what we mean. Me. That's all you need to remember. Now, let's put this with some nouns. Okay? I used sus before. I'll use something different. I'll use melech, which is king, of course. So melech, if I put this with, I want to say my king, of course this final cough would change because it's not final anymore. And I'd go meleki, meleki, my king, king of me, or my king, right? Okay, let's use im, which is with. This is a preposition. Oh well, I said I was going to do nouns, but that's okay because this is a good one to know. Im is with, and so if I wanted to say ka with you, sir, you're talking to a man, with you. Or if I wanted to say imak, It'd be with you talking to a woman. Now we'll do some nouns with those. Just very simple. I'm just trying to think of, we'll do your land. So, aretz. Now it's not a final because I'm going to add, so if I wanted to say eretzak, there of course would be that little empty symbol there, meaning no sound, a shava. Eretzak is your land. And do you know which gender I'm talking to? I'm talking to a female here. Eretzak. If I wanted to say, talking to a man, I would say eretzka. Now that means I'm closing the syllable. So eretz, retz, ka. Your land, talking to a man or a boy. So those are all the singular pronouns. Now there's just 5 plural pronouns. We'll take those starting out with them. Now this is convenient because it's just, like in English, our word for them, third plural pronoun, ends in an M. This also ends in a final M. So if I say bomb, if I say, let's see, bomb, that's with them or in them. This pronoun here, b, can mean in or with. So with them, bomb. That's it. Now, occasionally they will use a long form of that pronoun, and they'll say bahem. So I don't know the rules. I'm sure there are some rules about when they would use them or what dialect uses those. But if you see this, it means the same thing. It's just a longer form. Bahem. I need to put that there. But either way, it's a third masculine plural. In English, they or them doesn't have a gender. It's common. But in Hebrew, they do. They have a they men and they women. So, so in them, with them, for men. Now, a third feminine plural is hen. So you could say ba hen. That's a final nun there. Ba hen. Now, it should be pretty easy to keep track of which is masculine, which is feminine. Can you think of a way to remember that hen refers to something feminine? I think you can. Think poultry. Bahen is in them or with them. So the hen. And I have a little memory device at the end to do these. There's still some more plurals. Now, they have a second person plural pronoun, which English doesn't. And so that's a deficient aspect of our language, and so different groups come up with different ways to overcome that. Like in the South, they say y'all, right? In other words, I've heard yins, I've heard yous, I've heard you guys. The second person plural masculine is kem. So if you say bakem, you're saying with y'all men. And if you say baken, you're saying with y'all women. So it's a second person plural talking to females. And there's one more, and that's nu, nun shurik, and that's us. So banu is in us. You can do the same thing with pronouns. You could say melech nu, and that would be our king, right? You could say sus kem. Can you figure out what that would be? Sus kem would be y'all's horse, and you're talking to a group of men. Sus, I should have done this, sorry. You could do Sus Ken, y'all's horse, talking to a group of women. And then their horse, if I did Susam, their horse, or Sus Hen, their horse, talking about a group of women. So those are the 10 pronouns, and you can go oh, him, ah, her, kaka, you, e, me, them, nu, us. These are very rare.